Hey guys, Toby here, and welcome to the 1000 Q&A, where a bunch of you guys ask me a ton of questions, which today I am here to answer most of them. As you can probably tell, this is not being done live, and I have thought about your questions as soon as I got notified of your comment, so expect me to yap just for a bit. As I stated in my last video, you could have asked me anything you'd like, but I am sticking to answering 3 questions I like the most. But sit back, relax. There's not going to be much going on visually this time, as I just want you to listen to my my thoughts, as I go through each question one by one. I'll be answering questions by whoever commented first, so without further ado, sorry if I butchered that, Ranger NL ask, can you make a precure video please? I would love to make a precure video if I had all the time and resources in the world, but I don't. And time is only becoming more limited as I'm getting older. Technically, my 2023 rewatch video does contain a 15-minute segment of the 4 precure seasons I watched at the time, and mostly can be watched alone. But I have seen more since, such as Go Princess, Wonderful, the currently airing UN Idol, and I have plans to watch Splash Star, well, really soon. However, I can't really think when I would be able to make a dedicated video of those seasons, with so many things going on with my life, and well, my next big project being Symphogear Rewatch Experience 2025, which I expect to be as long as the others. Monetary incentives might help, but again, it's always time that's the biggest constraint. What I can do for you is tell you my brief thoughts on the seasons I haven't covered. Go Pre was amazing. The animation was the best I've ever seen in any precure season, and was pretty consistent throughout its runtime. The characters were great, the villains were awesome, and the character designs this season went super fucking hard. It kinda sucks that this season flopped in Japan, because I don't think any other season has matched Go Pre's energy since. Wonderful Precure was absolutely delightful. It centered around pets, which was great because I love pets and my dog, and oh my god, Komugi is so cute! This season definitely had some lackluster animation with the lack of fights, but the characters were so good, everybody had great chemistry with each other, and while the villains were revealed late into the season, they were good hitting the audience with the feels. I still miss the cast, because UN Idol is kinda just okay. It brings back the fights, but being an Idol season, it doesn't really dive into idol culture as you'd think it would, and while it started off pretty good, like Soaring Sky, it's just been droning in filler episodes, while important ones that focus on the plot are just rushed for some reason. However, I still think it has a chance of redeeming itself if they land the ending with something super duper cool, because if not, I will probably remember it just being mid. And oh, by the way, these guys are gay as shit. Oh my fucking god. Yanis Peluktovich, I'm so sorry, has 3 questions. Number 1, how are you doing? Number 2, if you could set the theme of a new Symphogear OVA to be produced, what would it be? And number 3, what single question would you like all of us to answer? For the first question, well, I'm glad you asked, cause I'd say I'm doing great. 2025 has been a rocky year, especially because living as an American right now fucking sucks. But I've been trying to make the best out of it. I've been getting into a whole bunch of different things this year, like Kamen Rider, if you've seen my community post. I've started to make fully painted Gunpla this year, I've been getting into a whole bunch of music, and I'm still spending a lot of my money on things. I'll be explaining more once SRE 2025 comes around. A Symphogear OVA can go many ways with its shit ton of lore that a prequel, sequel, or even an adaptation of one of the XU events would be something I wouldn't mind. I don't really know the theme I would want the most, but there is one thing I really want from new animated Symphogear content. Let Hibiki and Miku kiss. In the Big 25, the Shirabe Meshi manga is gay as it could possibly be, but nobody with the fucking autoscores have been kissing each other. Where do I get the characters accidentally doing it? Where can I get Hibiki and Miku to be intimate enough where they'd be kissing, but it's not an 18+ doujin made by X23? I've seen people say the new anime should just be a long wedding between the two, and honestly, I would fucking love that. For the last question, wait, You want me to do a YIAY or something? Well, I do have something. I just won $500 at a Christmas work party, and I haven't spent it yet. I probably have by the time I release this video, but what do you think I should buy with the $500 I won? UDL Roy asks, favorite words starting with the letters A, G, X, V, and Z. You don't know how long I was contemplating this single question for, because I never thought about it, like, ever. I mean, sure, I can just give you joke answers, but I think it'd be even funnier to give you serious answers. Starting with A, probably accentuate. It's a synonym for emphasize, but it sounds like a big word. People like hearing big word, and saying big word makes you think you're smarter than you actually are. I've used it twice in my videos, and I feel good making such statements that involve the word. G, goon. It's probably overused everywhere at this point, but goon is just a very funny word to say, and there's so many suffixes you can apply to this word, like gooner, or gooning, or oh my god, this game is so gooner bait. Who the fuck are you people? I thought I hired goons. I know it's the modern derivative of a funny haha sex word, but I'm a guy who likes making funny haha sex jokes. X. What fucking words even start with this damn letter? You got xylophone, Xavier, xenophobia. I think I just like the letter X more than any word starting with it. X is just cool to say that so many people just like pasting it to anything for marketing. The Xbox Series X, the Gundam Double X, Symphogear GX, AXZ, XV, X-Drive, Spy X Family, Hunter X Hunter, High School DxD, Half-Life X. I think I made my statement clear. V, Viagra.
Huh?
I'm kidding. It's probably vexation. And I hope my false choice vexed you. Ha 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 ha. Like, imagine being so annoyed. You can't describe it being annoyed, frustrated, or even cross. You're vexed. Just another word with the same meaning. But now you got people like, what did you say? What does that mean? Seriously, the more I get with this question, the more it vexes me. Finally, Z. I'm gonna go with the Japanese word zetsumetsu, which means annihilation or extinction. It's quite the edgy word with equally crazy looking kanji, but the reason why I like the word is kind of classified right now. Maybe if I ever made YouTube my full-time career, I would explain it more. But for now, take that answer for what it is. For Alana, I ain't reading all that. Leopard asks, for a person with this much rewatches, my only real question is, do you need help? Blink twice if you're being held hostage. If you're being held hostage by Maria, don't blink, you lucky bastard. Okay. If you really need those serious ones for the algorithm, 1. Are you watching something besides anime girls in tight suits? What are your favorite media stuff besides anime? Those are 2 questions, but I guess they're very similar, so I'll count that as a 1. And 2, what would you gift to your best girl? What would you like to receive from her as a gift? Like I stated from a previous question, I've been getting into a bunch of different things besides anime this year. I haven't watched much anime at all lately, as I've been getting to Kamen Rider like I previously stated, and I've been reading more manga, but most of it has been rom-com slop. Fluffy Yuri of Comic Yuri Hime, where Azumi-chan is interested in lesbian brothels. Music, fuck it, here are the new artists I've listened to this year. I also got a Legion Go this year and got into Balatro, but I haven't touched my Legion Go or played Balatro in months, and if I'm not watching stuff with anime girls in tight suits, I'm building anime girls in tight suits. I also just go outside from time to time like a normal fucking person. What would I give and receive from Maria? Which I'm assuming you mean Maria. You know, I thought this question was weird at first, but I recently watched one of the latest UN Idol episodes, where after they defeat the monster of the week, they have Cure Kiss comforting one of her classmates because she's scared about things, and watching that scene, I could not stop thinking, God, I wish that were me. So what would I want from Maria? Easy, a hug, and telling me everything will be okay. In turn, what I would give back are probably just positive affirmations of her, probably telling her she's really cool, and saying whatever compliments before I shoot myself out of pure cringe. John DeBala asks, if you were to recruit a non-symphogear magical girl, or girls, like Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura, etc., to the symphogear team, who would it be and why? If you didn't say magical, I would vouch for any Uma Musume. First of all, they're literally built different, just like the symphogear wielders, and are trained to sing in idol concerts. So there's probably a good chance that they have good synchronization rates and can produce a lot of phonic gain. Which Uma exactly? I don't know. They could probably race for it. Based on purely magical girls, I would recruit Lost Property Ride Force 6. Cop-out answer, but it's the most obvious. They're literally a gay magical girl military that I think would have no problem wielding any of the gears, if they need to wield them at all. Subaru can easily wield Gungnir, Ichival would fit Tiana perfectly, Hayate can probably wield Shenchojing, Signum with Agartrum, Vita with Prolades Phosphrobe if they ever recovered it, Fate with Ame no Habakiri if you know what I mean, and Nanoha. Nanoha by herself is a force to be reckoned with. I don't think she'll even need a gear to get the job done. Hell, if there's only Alkanoids to be dealt with, then probably nobody would need a gear to get things done. Olin Gamer asks, if you could rewrite symphogear, what's one element you'd change and one you keep the same? Ooh, now this is a good question, because there are so many flaws I would rewrite from happening, but having only one really has to make me think. Based on my 2025 rewatch, no matter how much they fuck up Maria in G, GX, and Axis, it still pales in comparison to the multi-targeted character assassination of Tsubasa's XV Turmoil. Now, I basically kinda came to terms with it in this rewatch, but it's still just insanely flawed. Am I removing out of its existence? No. I like the part where her suffering contributes to Fudo being one heck of a fucking supervillain, but I'm still appalled by how her friends react to the whole ordeal. And if you've seen my rewatch videos, I make suggestions on how it could be better. Why is the only thing that Chris says to Tsubasa is basically, suck it up? Having a one-to-one moment with her would have been so much better as 1, it makes Chris do something in the season, and 2, it would go full circle to how the relationship evolved over time, with her now being the one giving words of comfort. I just hate how everybody has such a demeaning attitude towards her. It's like Hibiki never fucking learned how to approach her the right way. Even Maria comforting her in some gay-ass way would have helped their relationship so much, also works the other way around, and the fact that it's just half trauma, half mind control. That has to go away. One element I would keep the same is Season 1, in terms of writing. You guys know how much I love Season 1 storytelling and character building that I can't ever see it be rewritten to match the energy of G to XV. The way it builds tension and chemistry with characters is superior to any other season, and everybody goes through fully fleshed out character arcs, cause they had to anyway if this was just going to be a one-time thing. Hey all, fair warning to this next question. I'm censoring this person's name, as I don't want any of you going out of your way harassing them, but what they asked for their third question was pretty fucking disgusting, so be aware. Ask 1. Are you going to expand into XD Unlimited? And 2. Are you excited for the 4th movie of Madoka? The chances of making XU content is slimmer than me ever making money off YouTube. XU lore has a lot of cool concepts, and I've read a few translated events myself. The problem is that it's extremely convoluted with its several timelines, and I hate the visual novel format of storytelling because it's the worth of both visual and reading mediums. You barely have any text to read at a time, and the visuals don't really do shit since you're just looking at PNGs talking to each other that are usually devoid of voice acting. Finding information outside of reading the translated events is also just scarce, but I think the biggest thing is that it's not considered canon, so whatever fucking happens in the game doesn't affect anything in the main story. I mean, I guess there is 3.5 and 4.5, but I know jack shit about it, so I don't really care. And no, I am not excited for the 4th Madoka movie. I haven't seen Madoka since I first watched it back in 2017, and while I loved the series at the time, I really had no clue what to think about Rebellion, besides the cool Homura and Mami fight being cool. Do I plan on revisiting it? Not really. My attachments with the franchise aren't as tight as, say, Nanoha, where I am interested in the new season, or even Cardcaptor Sakura, which still needs to finish its new season and explain why the fuck Shorin sucks fucking balls compared to his original counterpart. Anyway, I don't even know what the 4th movie is gonna be about. Didn't Rebellion have a satisfying ending anyway? Oh, looks like you edited a 3rd question in. Why is it so long? Opinion on Fine's and Chris's weird relationship. While it was a toxic one, Fine did take care of Chris pretty well. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop you there. That is just straight up a terrible take. When I read this for the first time, I couldn't believe what I was reading, and I don't know how you make yourself even worse with your take on how she was helping her deal with her past trauma and then giving her not new, more trauma that you try justifying what happened in the manga, but not in the anime. The way you're whitewashing this abusive relationship is absolutely insane. Whatever good Fine did for Chris is criminally undermined by how much bad she did out of her own pleasure, manipulating whatever morals Chris had left in her by telling her violence will stop violence, electrocuting her in this totally unnecessary outfit, giving her the false hope of connection and warmth, and God knows what else. There's a reason Chris never thinks about her ever again, and the way I see her crying about her death was 1, she's finally released from the years-long abuse she faced from adults, and 2, she saw a side of her that she probably never saw until now. But you're not convincing me that this relationship was morally gray. It's clearly black as fuck. Saying otherwise should put you on a fucking list! But I don't know what I expected. You showed up to the symphogear Discord one day calling a pride parade real gooner shit that kids shouldn't be near. On Pride Month, in the symphogear Discord, symphogear, a show full of gay girls. But clearly you have a preference on other types of relationships. Get your bitch ass out of here. If you would like to announce your disdain towards the LGBTQIA+ community, please stand up so I can personally get rid of your ass. Homophobia, transphobia is not tolerated on this channel. Let's move on.
Shemha fanboy.
Shemha fanboy. Heh, nice. Ask, what is your favorite symphogear villain? What are your hopes and wishes for the symphogear movie? What editing software do you use for your videos? Do you plan on doing any more character analysis videos like your Hibiki one, but with other characters, both symphogear and non-symphogear? And how would you rank each symphogear transformation from worst to best? Finally, a bunch of good questions, but you know the rules. Something I've realized in my 2025 rewatch is that most villains in symphogear kinda suck. Most side villains are victims of the main villains, and most of them are pretty derivative of each other. They just want to rule the world, for some reason. Then there's Carol, who wants to get rid of it. My favorite villain probably has to go to Fudo. He is absolutely insufferable anytime he's on screen, he's a huge hypocrite, but he gets shit done. His villainy in XV is very entertaining and basically cannot accept defeat. Even if he was about to be killed by his own daughter, he still found victory somewhere. He steals most of the season, so much so that when Shemha finally steals the spotlight, well, she's only got 4 more episodes to shine, and I'm sorry Shemha fanboy, but she did not shine as bright as she could for the limited runtime she got. Like I previously stated in the OVA question, I need Hibiki and Miku kissing. No butts, no cuts, no coconuts. We're 6 years into the Rara era, and although the new prime minister is ultra-conservative as the goddamn country is, there should be no more fucking excuses to have them not kiss. Make them kiss. Other than that, I mean, I want it to look good. That's probably going to be a given since it's going to be a movie. I'm just kind of paranoid since the last thing we saw animated was Fire Scream, and that opening looks ass most of the time. Like yeah, sometimes it looks good, but other frames are quite a yikes. But this was made during COVID and was to promote their game at its peak. Does it have to be better than XV? No, but if it is as good as XV, that would be the dream. The software I use to make my videos are Google Docs, Audacity, DaVinci Resolve, Parabolic, OBS, Paint.net, and Photoshop. I use Google Docs to, well, write my scripts, and check down my progress of the video, Audacity to record my voice, and DaVinci Resolve to do a bulk of the goddamn work. My first video, Dr. Vera is my waifu, was me using Resolve for the very first time, with my only video editing experience being Windows Movie Maker, and I'm continuing to learn more stuff that I can do with Resolve with each video I make. This software rules, and it's completely free, or $300 for the pro version that you can actually keep forever. For now. This video is not sponsored. Parabolic is a front-end version of YouTube DLP, which YouTube DLP is the program to use if you want to download any video off the internet. Problem is that it looks like this, and I never became a nerd enough to tolerate it. OBS is used to record clips of doing stuff on my PC. Paint.net is the program I use to make a majority of my edited images. I've known how to use it since I was a wee lad, and continued to use it the most, even though I know how to use Photoshop pretty well, which I do use when I make my thumbnails. Razorblade 1567? Razorblade 1560. Whatever, this guy asked, what are your opinions on the lyrics for the songs and how they relate to the character? I'm gonna be honest, while my 2024 rewatch video explains my opinion on the music quite a bit, I really don't pay attention to the lyrics as much as you think a symphogear fan would. It's kinda just a me thing, as I don't really pay attention to lyrics in general, and it's the same when I watch symphogear. I kinda just read the lyrics and don't think much about it. It probably doesn't help that the lyrics aren't really ever perceived by anybody in the main show, and only talk about it just to make a punchline in the OVAs. Regarding the lyrics by itself, as somebody made me realize, a lot of the battle songs are just the gear's ego, hyping themselves up as they fight, so I don't have much to say about the songs besides fire lines like I did my homework how to beat you, or my songs don't come cheap. When songs go beyond ego boosting, I do think the songs and lyrics give characterization to the gears, although a lot of it exists outside the anime. You have Kirika's existential crisis throughout most of her B songs, Chris's duality of cold rage and warm connection in Season 1, Tsubasa's turmoil in Zeto Ame no Habarikiri and Defender's Brand, Maru being girl boss in literally all of her songs, Shirabe's responses to Kirika's depression, and of course the back and forth love confessions between Hibiki and Miku. It's too bad I don't really know Japanese to notice the quality of the lyrics, because it's kinda hard to say how good they actually are, as there are a billion ways to translate them. Nora Necro Studio says, hey, he's back from another symphogear hibernation. Oscar Wong asks, 1. Have you played Symphogear XDU? 2. What other character would you pick as your channel mascot if you never watched Symphogear? And 3. Your favorite Symphogear song? Yes, I have played Symphogear XDU when it came out globally for like 6 months, and that's the reason why I hate it. The game is as generic as an anime-themed gacha game would be. Cool stories, told in a terrible format, and mid-ass gameplay that involves a gacha-sism because of course it does. The global implementation was total ass. The first event collaborating with Attack on Titan out of all franchises, voice lines weren't translated in the home screen, like I really found no enjoyment out of it, especially as it was as much of a time investment as any other gacha game. God, these sentences are fucking terrible, I hate myself. I was already playing Azure Lane at the time, and man, playing one gacha was already too much. I really don't know who'd my avatar be had I never watched Symphogear. Hell, had I never watched Symphogear, I'd probably never get into making videos at all. Telling people how I loved Dr. Vera to a small audience was catching lightning in a bottle, and Symphogear was a pivotal moment in my history as an anime fan, that had I not watched it, I don't even know where I'd be right now. Like, my avatar might have been Nanoha, but I probably wouldn't have watched Nanoha not had I seen Symphogear. In all honesty, I think I would have stuck with the JT logo, as I've designed that long before I started YouTube, or personify myself with another character I'd become obsessed with throughout my YouTube videos. My favorite symphogear song still remains to be Glorious Break after all these years. Even the lyrics are a bit more creative, as people have interpreted it as Nana, Tsubasa, singing about Hibiki, and the lyrics overall being more abstract. But what I like more than anything is its overall tone. It's epic, heroic, and desperate. The way Nana Misuki delivers the lyrics, the combination of the synths, string, and brass instruments, and the way it's used in the anime, it's just fucking cinema. You could probably watch this video, maybe, but reference this timestamp in my 2024 rewatch video. Super Sarah asks, working on a symphogear ttrpg currently, so what would you expect of one? What comes to mind when you hear symphogear ttrpg? I have no symphogear friend to bounce ideas with. Oh, I'm so sorry, but you asked the wrong person because I don't engage with tabletop RPGs. But when I think of them, I think fantasy, so it's basically Symphogear GX, but the main cast is traveled back in time in Carol's prime, and that's kinda the whole premise of the campaign. Assuming how TTRPGs work, you roleplay as the Symphogear characters, maybe in some medieval fantasy clothing, skills are based on the gear's attack cards, and the higher you roll on the 20, the better the attacks are. They fight Alkanoids, and the final boss is Carol, obviously. I don't know what else to say before I start sounding like a complete idiot, so that's all I got, and I hope it helps even just the tiniest bit. Albert Faulkner asks, 1. Favorite ship? 2. Thoughts on the fan service, both in and out and transformations? And 3. What's your ideal season? Like, what dynamics would you consider for it to be a straight 10 out of 10? I'm assuming all of these questions relate to Symphogear. By far my favorite ship is Hibimiku, if you already didn't know at this point, because there was a time where I just didn't feel that way and thought it was just Omega Yuri bait, so rediscovering how gay they actually are without the showrunners directly confirming it was quite a revelation and has kept my love for these two gals ablaze. The Hibimiku compilation video is probably my favorite compilation as you see them become more gay each season, and it was just fun collecting the clips every time I finished a season. My 2023 rewatch has dedicated segments for Hibimiku, and anytime I have to talk about them, I always gotta remark on their feelings for each other. Now, what about the others? DMG is absolutely adorable, and I do need to see them kissing as well. It's kinda just what I have seen has been enough for me, while I haven't seen the potential Hibimiku has in canon material. Super Mario are flirtatious, but they don't actually get intimate as you'd think they would. The ship's nice cause it's just two hot women doing hot woman shit to each other. Anyway, you've opened Pandora's box. You asked the fan service question. For the record, I say I don't like fan service, and some of you guys don't like that, and the definition of fan service being regarded as sex appeal only, even though most people use the word to describe sexualization to please the audience, rather than, holy shit, remember this? Well, we brought it back just for you. Both meanings do apply, but you would know which one I'd be talking about. I will be honest though, I do basically call any sexualization I don't like fan service, as you can definitely argue the gear suits themselves are suggestive considering their skin tight, there are random ass cutouts that are designed to show more skin, and the designers definitely knew what they were thinking when they made the bottom of Kirika's leotard with stripes. I never made a comment about it before, but it is fucking weird. Sex appeal definitely has its place with Symphogear. Like, any hot villain can be hot as fuck for all I care, but there are times when it gets icky, which, I'm not gonna list them all down, I painstakingly did so already with my rewatch videos, but it basically boils down to eluding sex victims and fictional children that look and act usually like children. Hibiki and Miku are kind of a gray area though. As for transformations, I do cover that extensively in Symphogear Rewatch 2024, but I like most of them as the cool factor of them outweigh any uncomfortable sexualization, with the exception of 3 scenes, and oh my fucking god, it always has to do with something with these two. Anyway, you have Shirabe's transformation in G, which the animators really didn't need to start the sequence like this, but they did anyway. Same goes for Shirabe again in GX, and Kirika's XV transformation, which I've come to think how this scene is not really in character with her at all, especially how dumb and innocent they make her and Shirabe that season, only making it creepier trying to watch the sequence the more times I see it. Like sure, her confidence is at an all-time high, but it is a strange way to portray it. As for the last question, it's something I kinda already answered. Just fix XV by either A, fixing Tsubasa's character arc, and or B, making it longer to flesh out Shemha's villainy more. XV has been a consistent 9.5 out of 10 for me for years, and that score is already inflated as it is with all the problems it has even outside of Tsubasa's character assassination. XV13 is as good as it is, it's absurdly fast paced, a longer epilogue would have been nice, and the cherry on top would be Hibiki and Miku kissing. Hell, a verbal confession, which may go against the point of Symphogear's message, would make XV the best fucking anime, period. Rennie and Knuckles ask, do you know Doro from Nike? Yeah. Is that all? I don't play Nike, so I don't really have much to say about it. It's surely big Guna material though. Actually really bored ask, 1. What do you think of Edgebikki as a character or concept? 2. Top 5 favorite characters in Symphogear? And 3. What's up with your YouTube avatar? Why do you decide not Purple Mario with sunglasses was apparently how you wanted to express yourself? Do you mean pink? Mario has pink hair. I've never seen her in purple. Hell, I don't think I've ever seen a purple-haired character in Symphogear at all. If there's anything I like most about XCU, it has to go to the AU counterparts of the main gears, as they basically personify what-if situations. A light that pierces the clouds is one of the only events I've read in XTU, and it's rough seeing such a somber, detached Hibiki that the event fortunately ends off on a good note where she reunites with her Miku after Private Miku saved her. Only for none of that to even matter because Lost Song straight up fucking kills AU Miku, causing her to reasonably crash the fuck out, and now it's up to Prime Hibiki to save her. And now when I think of Edgebikki, I just think about how people went a bit crazy shipping the two Hibikis together, something I make reference to in my 2023 April Fool's video. Elkide is pretty cool, but I don't really vibe with Symphonic Drive with its colors, and the boobs, which look really out of place. Top 5 favorite characters of Symphogear? You could just say 6 to make this easy. You obviously know my number 1 is Maria, then it'd probably be Chris, Tsubasa, Hibiki, then Shirabe and Kirika if you want to count them as 2 half characters as 1. If not, I do think I prefer Shirabe more at this point. I won't tread too long with this question though. This kind of question would warrant its own video. But wait, I think I already have made a video exactly on this topic. My YouTube avatar stems from starting the channel as this fan of Maria being my original avatar, which I then drew a low effort drawing of her based on her swimsuit pose in GX episode 7, and then I eventually redrew it by tracing it with a mouse and started to use it in all my videos in the attempt to avoid any copyright strikes for showing an extensive amount of anime clips I don't own. I use Maria as reference for obvious reasons, but the gradient hair is based off the 2 colors of my JT logo I also use to brand myself, and the sunglasses because it gives me a good excuse to not draw anime eyes. Like with many people with anime profile pictures, why express yourself as yourself when you can be your waifu instead? Get up to P8476 ask, where would you put Hibiki in terms of power scaling? You know, does she solo Goku, Gojo, etc.? This long ass break between these 2 sentences implies that I find this question to be annoying. And yeah, it's pretty fucking stupid because they would not be in character for Hibiki looking for a fight with others if it's not necessary to do so. In all seriousness though, Hibiki would solo Goku and Gojo, no diff. You are not getting the privilege of my reasoning, not unless you subscribe to my Patreon, which doesn't exist. Erica ED6ZL ask, slim thick or body tea? Body tea every day. The last question in the video comes from Edward Loe. Well, if you excuse me, if you know and have watched Kamen Rider, what Rider series do you want to see a crossover with Symphogear? Edit, just realize you can ask more than one question, and if I may ask for more. I sure hope you know the rules. What's your personal recommendation and suggestions for people to watch Symphogear? I want to dive into the Precure franchise. You got any suggestions? How and what's the real reason you're able to make the annual Symphogear rewatch video? Why is your favorite girl Maria? And please explain it in the most gushing way. What's your personal favorite one episode of Symphogear? Do you intend to make other content in the channel besides Symphogear? What you have planned both in real life and YouTube for the next 5-10 years? This is not a question, but a demand. Fuck you. That's all I could ask, if I may ask for more. Considering the 4 seasons I've seen so far, Kuga, Zets, 01, and Den-O, out of those I'd probably like to see a crossover of Kuga or Den-O with Symphogear. Godai and Hibiki would probably be best buds considering their kind hearts and wielding some of the most dangerous powers of their universe, and it'd probably be pretty interesting how the Gears could handle the Gorongi with their little shtick being killing people to be on the top of the bracket. Sector 2 might get along with the Metropolitan Police. Den-O is probably an easier choice, as you can literally go ham with voice actor references such as Momotaros being Top Dad and Shig being Adam. Wait, holy shit, they kinda look similar. The antics between the cast might be absolutely fucking wild, and that would be a fun experience to watch. I wish I could say that the real reason I make Symphogear rewatch videos every year was because money. But I don't make anything off those videos, nor do I even have the views to make any pennies out of them. My rewatch videos bring the most discussion out of my audience, and doing it every year at this point is kind of just the circumstances. The original rewatch video is my best performing commentary video. Symphogear Rewatch 2023 allowed me to open up the situation I was in that year, as well as me making a goddamn 2-hour video. Symphogear Rewatch 2024 allowed me to talk about my personal life for a few minutes, and then it helped me express a lot of the other thoughts I failed to mention in 2023. And Symphogear Rewatch 2025 is to do more of the same. Reviewing my life in 2025, and telling an interesting story of the year's rewatch experience. Even if there are no incentives attached, I am always drawn to making them, as it's now kind of becoming my catch-all yearly Symphogear video, though I do think doing them each year will come to an end soon, because they're always long, and leisure time continues to diminish as I'm getting closer and closer graduating college. I really would like to make more content outside of Symphogear, and I know my audience does want to see something more, which I'm being more intrigued by the idea of Symphogear Rewatch Experience 2025 to probably be the last one, or maybe for a good while. I do want to talk about plastic models, I do want to talk about other franchises I know you guys would be interested in, and I do want to make smaller videos again. Who knows? There's a sliver of hope I would branch out. It's unlikely, but it is a non-zero chance. Hell, if you guys are okay with this minimally edited video as a yap for God knows how long, the chances become a lot higher. Last and not least, there is one more question that was asked in my community post. Luna the Embrayon asked, out of all the Symphogear armor designs, what is your favorite? I didn't pick a favorite in Symphogear Rewatch 2024, and I know it's gonna sound like a cop-out answer, but my favorite probably goes to Agartrum. Besides the user who dons the gear, silver, magenta, and teal is quite the unique color scheme, and I love the asymmetry of her left arm and side skirt. Agartrum also has the coolest attacks with Empress Rebellion, Serenade, Silver Gospel, and of course, Horizon Cannon, being a double X/Freedom Gundam reference. The gear design matches well with Maria, it's classy, sexy, and just different from the norm, and I like different. Looks like somebody made a comment well after the threshold of being able to ask questions, but I guess that's on me as I originally paused the comment section but had to undo that to perform certain actions of the video, and somebody snuck in a few more. Since they were the only ones that did, I might as well answer them. The Pretty Girls 7198 ask, do you like Transformers and metal card bots? What are your favorite childhood shows? What are your favorite fairy tales? Do you have any social media apps besides YouTube? When is your birthday? And bonus question, your MBTI. Hey, someone actually wants to know me outside of Symphogear. Holy shit. As you can probably guess from a guy who loves talking about anime, I loved watching cartoons as a kid, such as SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Regular Show, Adventure Time, Gumball, My Little These shows aren't really anything out of the ordinary, most of them. I'm sure you remember cable TV, so I, as a kid, without access to the internet, just watched whatever was airing on TV, or watched the minimal amount of episodes available on Netflix. But yeah, why hide it? Anybody could be a fucking fan of most of these shows. What got me into the subsection of anime I'm into today is directly influenced by my experience with Friendship is Magic and the, brony fandom. Take that information as you will. The only other social media platforms I primarily use outside of YouTube are Reddit and Discord, which I don't keep hidden, but I'm not really proud of it either. Reddit stereotypes are real and somehow exist in the fucking wild, and at times it's my type of doom scrolling as I see many communities fall horny and people just endlessly complaining about things. But I don't see any other place to go to as TikTok is, well, TikTok, Twitter is Twitter, and as someone who's used Instagram since 2014, I don't even know what kind of fucking platform that is anymore. I use Discord much more for finding information about plastic models than actually engaging with a community. You'll see me chat once in a blue moon in the symphogear Discord, but I don't do it like every day. Interacting with people online in real time is fucking awful, as people have the freedom to say whatever the hell they want and click enter. Please, for the love of God, do not DM me. Finally, I am an INTP. Well, I think those were all the questions, and holy shit, it's been 40 minutes. I hope I answered your questions as best as possible, and you better be happy because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these questions were very random, and y'all made me think too much about them. Well, I guess I'm on my way to start the symphogear Rewatch Experience 2025. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later.